Well, here we are in April 2021, and ADGA has released their new NG system. As I'm making this, there are still a ton of bugs and a lot of things that need to be fixed. However, registering a goat is very doable, and they've tried to simplify things in their new system. So I'm going to cover how to register a goat using the new NG system. First, you'll get to, when you log in, I know right now a lot of people are still having trouble with that, but once you are logged in, this will be your home screen. You can go to register a goat and click. The first question here is really important. Use AI memo or use service memo. This is if you used semen from a straw or if you leased a buck. Now, if you used your own buck that you currently own, you don't need to check either of these. But in this case, for the goats that we are registering today, I did use a service memo. The owner of that buck has already submitted that service memo online, and that will show up automatically in the system. So we're going to go ahead and click Use Service Memo. It's going to show, this field shows up now. I can click on this red box, and it's going to show me all the service memos currently listed for my animals that the owner of the buck has already submitted. So we are going to find the service memo here for Castle Rock Fern and Oak Apple Maestoso. Put a check mark. Be sure to click OK. If it was like this, you kind of click that and then you think, well, do I click up here now? No, you want to check this box, scroll, hit OK. All right, this is awesome. So now it automatically puts in the service memo number and puts in the date of service. Now I can put in my goat name. As you can see, it's already put in my registered herd name here. That can't be changed. And then I'm going to add in the rest of the name of the buck. In this particular case, the buyer wants to name the buck Eskimo Jack Frost. Now, because I used a service memo, it was super handy here for me and automatically put in the sire's ID number, the dam's ID number, and I can't even change now the name of the dam or the buck puts down the current owner. Pretty cool. Now, for some reason in the date of birth, it likes to put in today's date. That buck definitely wasn't born today. So I'm going to go ahead and click the calendar button. I'm going to scroll back here. And this buck was born on February 25th. Click on 25 February, say OK. Now for whatever reason, maybe they really want you to register just does, it defaults to female. In this particular case, I'm going to switch to male. Now, as you can see, it's required to put in the number of bucks and the number of does. This little guy was a single. So we're gonna put 1, and I'm gonna put 0. You have an option here to make your registration paperless or mark that it's a rush. In this case, I definitely want to have paper because this little guy needs to go to his new owner with papers. A lot of my animals are shipped out of state and they need that registration in hand on their transport. So I'm not going to click either of those. I'm going to hit next. So this is really important, color and markings. The first thing you want to do in appearance is say goat conforms to breed standards. Because they know that I only have Nigerian dwarfs and that's what the Buck Service Memo was for, I only have 2 options here. So I'm going to go ahead and select Nigerian dwarf. And for colors and marking, they've really wanted you to simplify from in the past what you have. There are great Nigerian dwarf color groups if you don't know what color pattern your goat has. In this case, this buckling is a buckskin. Keeping it simple. I'm gonna hit tab down. Goat horns. They give you a nice list of options when you click on the arrow. He was not dehorned, but he was disbudded. There's also an option for horns if you left the horns on. Polled if he was born polled. Scurs, I suppose, if you're registering an animal later in life and they have developed scurs. In this case, he has not. Disbudded. And then I'm going to tab over to goat ears. For Nigerian dwarf, there's only one type of ear style, and that's erect. So it's actually not going to give me the other options like pendulous or gopher like you would have for a Nubian or a La Mancha. That makes it pretty easy. I think they're trying to get you not to screw things up in this new system. I'm going to click next. And this is a pretty neat tool. So in identification, this is getting into their tattoos, and you also have the opportunity here to use this slider if you put a chip into the goat as well. In this case, I have not, so I won't select the slider, but that would be an option you have. It automatically is going to put in my member tattoo. This is my tattoo I've registered with ADGA years ago. And it knows this should be in the right ear. So it's automatically defaulting to putting our member tattoo in the right ear. That's great for me, that's accurate. So then I can go to the next column here, and it has the opportunity to put in another tattoo on the right ear, left ear, or into the tail. I assume this is right tail, left tail, center tail. In this case, it's going to be the left ear. And this kid's tattoo is N11. Tab. I'm not going to add any comments. These tattoos are totally normal. Say next. And because, as I mentioned, this goat needs to go with his papers in hand, I am not going to go ahead and transfer this goat to the new owner yet. And they also have not paid in full yet. I like to wait until the goat is paid in full and in transport before I hand them over the physical paper. So no transfer for me at this time. Now I get a chance to review and check the work. Sire, Oak Apple Maestoso, Dam, Castle Rock Fern. Date of birth, February 25th, 21. Male, total males in birth 1, 0 females in birth, sad for me. Goat name, twin pairs, Eskimo, Jack Frost. Conforms to Nigerian dwarf, disbudded, ears are erect, no electronic ID. Right ear tattoo, left ear tattoo. And I'm going to go ahead and say finish. However, if this kid was in a litter that had multiple goats to be registered, you can go ahead and click this button and go through the same form to add in siblings. And it's nice because it will just keep in the Dam and Sire information for you. You don't have to enter it again. But in this case, I am going to say finish. And it's going to add it into my shopping cart. I have a bunch of kids to register today. Don't get panicked right now. It still does that. It goes through the login screen. Goodness only knows why. But then takes me back to my homepage. So up here in my cart now, I have several animals. And I can check them. I can see the price. And I can delete them if I've changed my mind. And in this case, it says I could use my account balance. However, my account balance right now was my linear appraisal application, which I do not want them to use. So I toggled that off. I am not going to use a credit card. I'm going to use my PayPal. And it has the amount there. Now, I've noticed that you can tell there's more to this screen, but you can't see it. And the scroll bar over here doesn't do anything for you. Use your down arrow. Bam. Confirm. It's automatically taking me to my PayPal, which I appreciate. This part has seemed to have worked just fine. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll. I'm going to use my credit card on file. I could use my PayPal balance if I wanted. Continue. Redirecting to my dashboard. Payment in process. Please wait. Okay, excellent. Now you can see my cart is empty. I will momentarily be receiving an email from ADGA saying that they received my applications. However, a human being has to review each application now. So once they do that, in the last ones I submitted, I got the follow-up within 1 or 2 days that they had been reviewed and approved. At that point, then you can go back into the site to find your stamp duplicates and expect to receive your registration in the mail. I registered some kids, let's see, maybe 10 days ago, and their registrations came yesterday. So not too bad, not too bad at all. And you can see here now my transactions, payment received, and the charges for the animals we just registered. Ta-da! There's a receipt from PayPal. So this time we are going to register goats from a Dam and Sire we own both of. So not using a service memo this time. We're gonna click on register goat. We're not gonna click either of those boxes. We're gonna go ahead and put in the name. Now in this case, in Sire ID, we can use this list, which shows the registration numbers of all of the registered bucks we currently own. I don't think we really own that many. Or we can click on the red box and find him in our list. I'm gonna go ahead and click in the box here, scroll down and click OK. I can see his name has showed up here now. I am the current owner, and we're going to do the same for the dam. We could look by ID number, or we can click the red box, and this is going to show every doe currently listed in our own list. Of course, a lot of these are sold and people have not transferred into their names. We can use the search function here at the top, or we can browse through. They are listed as youngest to oldest. Here she is. Here's the mom. This is Superior Genetics Oak Apple Seed. We will check that. We'll click OK. Here we go. Pop that in there. So now we can scroll down. Date of birth still defaulting to today. We will scroll back. The actual date of birth for this guy was March 18th of 2021. Select date, click OK. In this case, in goat sex, we can click in this box or click on the arrow, male or female. In this case, it's a male. And we can click down here, number of bucks. You won't believe it, guys. It was 4 bucks in this litter. What a pain. 0 does. Bummer. We don't want to do a paperless registration. It's not a rush. We'll just leave those empty and click next. Isn't it interesting how when I click that, it pops this next field kind of under the header bar, so I need to actually scroll back up. So under appearance, goat conforms to breed standard, in this case, Nigerian dwarf. Colors and marking, he is a deep red, which is actually a shade of gold, and I like to keep paper simple. He's just gold. Goat horns, this kid was disbudded shortly after birth. Goat ears, only give me one option for Nigerian dwarf, erect. Gonna click next. Again, it's giving us our right ear herd tattoo. He does not have a chip. We will put in his left ear tattoo. For this kid, it is N16. No comment. Hit next. I am not transferring him. I am going to leave it as no transfer at this time. He has not been paid in full yet. We will review our work here. Urban Acres, HWT Firestone, Oak Apple Sing, date of birth March 18th. He is male. There were 4 males in this birth. His chosen name. Breed information conforms to disbudded erect. No chip. His tattoos. No transfer at this time. And then in this case, I have another brother of his to register. So I'm going to say register another goat from the same litter. This is pretty cool. Now, it's popped in the sire ID and the dam ID, birth date, didn't have to do anything. So I'm gonna put in the next kid's name, and this is gonna be FS Jasper. I can just tab on through these guys, don't need to do those this time. Double check, yep, we've got our birth date in there. He is male. It knows that because I already said there were no females in this litter. And I can skip those, I'm not gonna do a rush. Hit next. It has defaulted to say he conforms to a Nigerian dwarf. And Jasper is also gold. Actually, I just remembered, Jasper is not gold. Jasper is actually black. He is disbudded. He is, ears are erect. Next. His left ear tattoo is N18. No comment. No transfer at this time. And here he is. See how fast that went? Check the information and then say finish. And they added those items to my cart. Don't get freaked out if you go past that screen. I hope that in the future they eliminate that little moment where you panic because it looks like you logged out. And here they are in my cart. And then I can go ahead and use my account balance or turn that off and not use my account balance, put in my payment information, and then say confirm. Also, if you change your mind, you can delete them here. And that's it. That is how to register goat kids using the new NG system, using both a Buck Service Memo or registering animals from your own herd. Happy registering, y'all.